Kaduna kidnap. We are combing butches to rescue them. Police. CBN reports a 433% upsurge in remittances to $1.3 billion in February. Naira depreciation. Others destabilize downstream oil marketers. Minimum wage, NLC, TUC split, want different pay in zones. CBN to sanction DFIs, PMBs, MFBs over late submission of returns. Reactions as Governor Bago visits news before Tinubu. Federal government partners CBN in gas exports. Repayment of student loan begins 2 years after. NYSC, federal government. Reps threaten warrant of arrest on IOC's chiefs. You left me with enormous shoes to fill. Wigwe's daughter. I can never say no to Nigeria. Enyama. Edo Guba, women, youths want suspension of Chaibu's impeachment process. African Development Bank invests $25 billion in Africa's agriculture in 10 years. Additional, reshuffle cabinet to restore investment confidence in Nigeria. More Halo tells Tinubu. Tinubu's workaholic. He goes to bed at 2, 3 a.m. every day. Ajuri Ngalale. Tinubu is workaholic. He goes to bed at 2, 3 a.m. every day. Ajuri Ngalale. Yaradua, Jonathan never criticized OBJ. Buhari's ex-aide, Ahmad, says PDP better at politics. Father of 3 beats wife to death over house rent in Rivers. Insurance policy will help reduce out-of-school children. NCRB president. 15-year-old boy kills uncle with grandfather's hunting gun in Bayelsa. Bandits kidnap over 200 students, teachers in Kaduna community. Free tuition, meals boost enrollment in Lagos schools. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Why we arrested 21 trucks loaded with food, EFCC. Apapa gridlock returns as trucks shun Sanwo-Olu's directive. SEC to issue new anti-money laundering regulations for digital assets operators. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Week deadline. National Air Force aircraft crashes in Kaduna. Tinubu never asked Buhari to print 22.7 trillion naira. Presidency fires back at Atiku's aide. NAQS Director General Vincent Isegbe reappointed by Tinubu. Tinubu okays a reconstitution of HGN Power Company Board of Directors. Insecurity. Terrorist attacks now daily. Nigeria losing economic life. P2B. Kaduna school abduction. Senator Lawal raises alarm over increased bandit attacks. Lassa fever. Despite warning, Enugu residents continue to drink garri. Hardship. Tinubu workaholic sleeps 3 a.m., wakes 7 a.m. Presidential spokesman Ajuri. Ex-Nigerian ambassador to Jamaica, Ono, closes defense in former minister Onyama's libel suit. 5 billion naira Ogun palliative. Finance commissioner assures of transparency. Why Buhari deliberately punished 8 Senate under me. Saraki fires back at Akpabio. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. From the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. Federal government inaugurates Oransayan Report Implementation Committee. Reps demand rescue of 200 abducted Borno women. House probes 200 billion naira spent on suspended census. Makinde Adeleke to unite Ondo PDP ahead of poll. Go after coup mongers. A federal government instructs DIA. Nigeria receives a new meningitis vaccine as Yobe orders a battle outbreak. Government warns against exploiting consumers. Let ordinary citizens feel justice. Sanwo-Olu tells judiciary. $6.2 million fraud. Forensic expert confirms a forgery of Buhari's signature. Protesting residents warn against Chaibu's impeachment. Minister assures gas investors of security. Lagos plans to seize styrofoam in supermarkets. Orders. Scale up fight against oil theft. Fubara tells Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps. International Women's Day. United Nations decries gender-based violence, discrimination. Kaduna Governor, JNI, Christian Association of Nigeria, laments rising poverty, insecurity. It is illogical for Varsity JAC to pressure members on strike resumption. Akwa Ibom. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps trains 532, warns against accidental discharge. Nigeria independent minded, says Utuga in Russia. Payment of a gratuity in Akwa Ibom not for favoritism. Governor aid. Delta lawmaker pays 200 residents health insurance premium. Urban congestion, bane of healthy living, says AAU Don. Kaduna crash, pilots escape death. Air chief orders probe. Security firm denies involvement in Rivers illegal bunkering. Delta local government honors a DPO for combating crimes. CDHR advocates environment-friendly laws. Warri South Cottage Hospital records first baby delivery. 4 billion naira fraud. Anambra government opposes Obiano's trial by EFCC. Group plans 2.4 million rewards for 12 teachers. Lighthouse Varsity gets operational license. International Women's Day. Tinubu celebrates Nigerian women. Nigerian physics backs international record for longest mathematics lesson. And that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Punch newspaper, we flip over to the Nation newspaper. Reps committee threatens IOCs with arrest over non-implementation of CSR. 260,000 wrote 2024 mock UTME, says Oloyede. 260,000 wrote 2024 mock UTME, says Oloyede. Amendment of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act will boost war against illicit drugs, says Mawa Ajokuta, to begin production of military hardware. Alleged 1.2 billion naira fraud. Tinubu suspends REA boss, 3 EDs. Federal government, Labour, tango over Oransayan report. Misinformation can trigger joblessness, business closures. Expatriate employment levy needless, says NECA. Family, colleagues pay emotional tributes to the nation woman, Oludende. Stipends of scholars abroad being processed. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Tech companies' social campaign to promote wellness, physical exercise, prioritize food security, disease control. Veterinarians tells government, prioritize food security, disease control. Veterinarians tells government. Algon tackles states over Paris Club refund orders. Foreign remittances rise by $1 billion in 1 month. Funeral for special marshal. Lubricant firm gets endorsement. Women, girl child need empowerment. Firms to introduce CNG on waterways. Food construction chemicals firm partner to enhance services. Businessman gets 7 million naira for unlawful detention. And that's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. From the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. Those who calling for coup with kids' gloves. Minister. Kaduna government, JNI, Christian Association of Nigeria, laments rising poverty, hunger, insecurity. Federal government inaugurates committee on implementation of Oronsanya report. Stop blaming Buhari for nation's economic crisis. APC tells Mufwang. Women, youths protest impeachment moves against Chaibu. Tinubu unveils Nigeria for Women program, condemns harmful practices. Ramadan, opportunity to promote peace, unity, Sharia Council. Oba of Benin calls for reenactment of African brotherhood in resolving conflicts. You're listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. Please stay with us.
The family look produced under a good hygienic environment with NAFDAC approval. Love Bite Bread produced with enough milk and honey that makes it sweet and yummy. Love Bite Bread energizes, refreshes, and nourishes the body. It's the family Love Bite Bread. A product of Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited in Novi, located at number 1 Kumotu Manikakulo, Kumulo Novi, Anambra State. Call 0814 982 8254. Love Bite Bread. Eat healthy, live healthy. Country people, another ogbonge opportunity don land for you to secure your own landed property for better location with small money before price go carry you go where you no know. This one na legit info from the stables of Robin Fave Concept Limited. I know say you don sabi that name by now. Robin Fave Concept Limited na big name for this real estate business. We get the track record and we dey deliver for everything we talk. Now we bring you Blessed Garden Estate, phase 1 and phase 2. Now we still bring you Airlight Garden Estate and Unique Garden Estate. All these estates, dey the capital city of Delta State, and people wey sabi levels don buy them finish. But no worry, because land no dey finish. And our work na to direct you go where you go get the best value for your money. This time, we don carry am come your domot with the brand new Golden City Garden Estate, Otulu, just 2 minutes from Akuku Igbo local government secretariat. This one na confirmed premium estate when you fit get to turn your eye at all. Just 400,000 naira. for one plot inside our special promo when they on now, from now till 2 weeks time. This estate dey for Otulu off Asaba Benin Expressway, just 2 minutes from Asaba Housing Estate and 5 minutes from Tech Group of Companies. Golden City Garden Estate dey for good location when be say na only 20 minutes e go take from Coca Junction flyover, 10 minutes from Asaba International Airport, and e no far from the express road. For inside Golden City Garden Estate, you go enjoy light and water 247. The environment clean and the day serene for you and your family with good road network and street light go dey shine for every corner. You no go worry about security because solid fence dey around the estate and security men when dem train wella go man the gate 247. On top that one, recreational center dey for your maximum relaxation. Wetin you dey wait for? Waka come Robin Fave Concept Limited office make you collect your own plot inside the brand new Golden City Garden Estate. Because special promo dey on now, and for this promo season, you go get 464 square meters of land when be 50 by 100, one plot for only 400,000 naira. This promo na for only 2 weeks. So no dull yourself. With only 400k, you don't become landlord inside this correct estate for we capital city. Call us today for 081 68 32 2403. That is 081 68 32 2403. I say 081 68 32 2403. Once you pay, we go allocate your land, give you sharply, plus give you date of assignment, register survey plan, and government approved decision. When go show say even government confirm wetin we dey do, you no get anything to worry about. Now we dey run am. If you no get all the money to pay now, you fit dey pay small for the one wey they call installment payment plan. Whether na 3 months, 6 months, or even 12 months, as long as you no go turn your eye, better for you to choose. Take advantage of this special promo when they on now unto say one plot of land, 464 square meters, now only 400,000 naira. Because once this promo end, the price will increase more. And the promo na just 2 weeks it go last. Secure the future for you and your family. Buy your own land today. Make yourself become landlord inside the new Golden City Garden Estate, Otulu, when be only 2 minutes from Akuku local government secretariat. Come our office when they inside Jimok petrol station, kilometer 8 at Asaba Benin Expressway, Asaba Delta State. Or call us on top 081 68 32 03. That is 081 68 32 2403. I say 081 68 32 2403. Now, Rob Limited, they develop Golden City Garden Estate.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonade FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be. Street report is here to it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin as number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. Upon at the 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On the Martin upon at the corner 24/7, 24/7.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 comment section of the live video. We are on to the Sun newspaper. Oba of Benin calls for reenactment of African brotherhood in resolving conflicts. Fresh attack, bandits kidnap over 100 pupils in Kaduna Primary School. Edo community begs a federal government to prevail on cement giants to construct Opela Benin Highway. Nigeria receives first ever meningitis vaccine. Farmers launch blockchain to revolutionize agriculture. Federal government sets up panel on Opera varsity. Students protest. Faith Spiration Initiative organizes a forum in Anambra, empowers 7 youths. Women, youths protest over impeachment notice against Chaibu. Nasarawa Assembly has no leadership crisis. Information share. NIN-BVN linkage group begs federal government to consider Nigerians in diaspora. Varsity Dawn drums for development of master plans towards growing functional cities in Nigeria. Nigerian Air Force jet bombards terrorist strongholds in Zamfara, kills scores. Hardship. Federal government assures Nigerian on better days. Hardship. Federal government assures Nigerians of better days. Federal government to commence production of military hardwares in Ajokuta as still. Defense Ministry set to sign a memorandum of understanding. JAMB conduct mock UTME for 260,000 candidates. UNILESA to begin apiculture, feed mill, palm oil processing. International Women's Day, 10 teams to slug it out at a 5th FAME Foundation Football Tournament. 2023 elections, Cross River PDP will bounce back. State Chairman Alake describes late Ekiti APC chieftain as dogged Democrat. Hardship, National Assembly. Hardship, National Association of Nigerian Students urges federal government, state governors to provide palliatives for students. International Women's Day, girls' rights under threat worldwide. UNICEF, how God turned around our 18-year childless ordeal couple. Soldiers foil terrorist attacks on Sokoto community, kills 2 terrorists, rescue kidnapped victims in Edo. Foundation sensitizes female students on menstrual hygiene in Edo. That's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. From the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to this day newspaper. Awolowo, Nigeria ready to tap into $16 trillion digital trade potential under AFCFTA. Tinubu to ministers, ensure research outcomes guide policy formulation and execution across key sectors. Federal government inaugurates committee on implementation of Oron-Saya report. Federal government to re-examine seeding of Atala oil field, promises fairness with collapse of local governments. 287 pupils, teachers kidnapped in Kaduna. Federal government inaugurates committee. We've taken this. Niger government takes delivery of additional 2,000 equipment to boost food production. Tinubu suspends managing director, 3 executive directors of Rural Electrification Agency. LCCI kicks against new expatriate levy, says it will negatively affect investment. Federal government moves to tap from $2.5 billion carbon market initiative. Ethiopian Airlines signed deal with Boeing to acquire 20 jets. Shareholders applaud Vitafoam for sustaining positive rate of return. International Women's Day. Optiva Capital Partners reaffirms commitment to women empowerment. Tinubu suspends REA MD, 3 directors over alleged 1.2 billion naira fraud. That's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. El Press trains staff on prevention of sexual exploitation, abuse, harassment. Nigerian Air Force trainer aircraft crashes in Kaduna. Over 1,500 attending pilgrims deposit Hajj fees in Oshun. Scrapping PTAD would lead to reinstitution of corruption. Southwest pensioners, restructure your economic team with utmost urgency, Ohaneze tells Tinubu. 41 persons arraigned before Ibadan court over alleged unlawful mining. Workers' minimum wage insufficient, needs review, NLC president. Increasing rate of poverty, hunger in Nigeria, worrisome, JINI, Christian Association of Nigeria. Oshun monarchs, Lords Oyotola for renovating hometowns palace. Oyo government to establish a commission for state-owned tertiary institutions. Enhance justice services delivery to build Nigeria's trust. Sanwo-Olu charges federal government. Reps set to review 28.7 trillion naira appropriation act. Delayed rain. Kwara residents lament heat wave. Imo Assembly screens 12 commissioner nominees. And that's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Airborne Ade 103.5 FM. We will now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for reactions. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. This one is coming from Comrade Manly Oduogo from OGBO Obosi, and he says, the truth must be told that the consequences of disunity in Nigeria are too terrible to contemplate, and too obvious to require any further demonstration. The legalized barbarism of the contemporary Nigerian situation is truly the fruit of disunity. The only way to banish disunity is for us to unite honestly. There is no other way. The major problem of our dear country is political. It is politics that distorts almost everything, and is politics that by an internal dialectics renders everything we touch putrid and poisonous. Frankly speaking, there is no day in our national dailies we do not find our politicians insulted, castigated, and pilloried. Yet, politics remain the most noble arena for public service, and some of our politicians are seen as the most honorable and distinguished in the land. My fellow Nigerians, which way out of the woods? Comrade Manly Oduogo from OGBO Obosi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Sunday Ikenna. He's watching us live from Unobi. And it says, man missing in police custody is a sad news. How? Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Christian Ufundo from Onitsha. And it says, if Fubara leaves his office for exchange of peace, it means that he is a coward to the core. One thing that shows a great man is the man that faces anything that comes his way, and the one that will continue going when things get tough, not a man that can slack when things get tough. Such a man is a coward. He wants to leave his office because of verbal words from his predecessor. This is an abomination to the highest order. He continued and said, bandits kidnapped over 200 people in Kaduna. Now, have our security men not heard of these indiscriminate kidnappings going on in this country? One thing that makes me feel bad is that all the security agents in Nigeria direct their attention to the southeast region where there is no war and take it as a duty to go inside bushes to hunt for people who are trying to save our people from the hands of the killer Fulani herdsmen. But look the other way, on the way bandits, Boko Haram, etc. kill people in the other parts of Nigeria. Let the security personnel go to Benue State and its likes and shows how competent and ready they are to defend the citizens and stop crying where nobody died. Now we have this. He continued and says, federal government should stop promising us falsely because we have not seen any good dancing step from the so-called federal government I put it to the federal government that it would be better for it to leave the office of presidency for those who know how to stand astride and continue to confuse people, wait for another 4 years stamp for them to start from where they stop their. Okay, that's where your message ended. But thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Pauline Wizu from Onitsha, and it says there is no security in Nigeria. How many hours operation it can take the so-called bandits to gather all the students and their teachers without phone calls? This is a well-planned deal. It's bad. Pauline Wizu from Onitsha. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Mwaloto Patrick from Munteje, and he says, I must say here without apology to anybody that I am disappointed with the NLC TUC over the division in the organized level as regards to the new national minimum wage. Any house that is divided against itself is bound to fail. How can labor be divided at this critical time and at the same time hope to achieve their demands? The labor should have known that a very powerful hand must have broken their ranks, and there is more reason they should bury their differences, speak with one voice, so as to be able to get what they want. Otherwise, they will be messed up by by the powerful hand. And if that is done, the entire workforce will continue to wallow in anguish and hunger. Again, I don't understand why the labor in the southeast region will be demanding for 540,000 naira minimum wage, while the organized labor is demanding for over 700,000 minimum wage. Does it mean that labor in the southeast is different from the organized labor? Let them think twice. This is coming from Walo to Patrick from Monteja. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Chike Obata from Obinetiti Okozo, and it says kidnapping school pupils again. May God save and protect them. NLC this time has failed the masses. P2B is right. Bandit and terrorist operation is every day in this country called Nigeria. And he continued and says kudos to Christian Association of Nigeria for hearing their voice concerned, airing their voice concerning this hardship in the country now. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Agonabo. He's joining us from Opa Aguluzibu, and he says killing of bandits by soldiers is a welcome development. And he says hardship saga. We are begging our federal government to help us put things in order so that masses will enjoy the benefits of being a citizen and not live like a stranger in our father's land. Air Force crashes as they are practicing. What of it if it is war? What will be the outcome of it? We are watching. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Comrade Ugudu from Abagana. And it says, sometimes I feel like regretting why I'm a Nigerian, but God knows why. A country where the authority don't care whether their citizens are doing well or not. Killing, kidnapping, banditry, and other jargons are daily news. I am living in fear as a Nigerian because nobody knows when is their time. Okay, our hand is okay. We are in your hands, oh Lord. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. This one is coming from Valentine Edene from Mokwa, and he says, I'm not surprised for hearing that Nigerian Labour Congress are divided, but they should understand that nothing to compare with human life, no matter the huge amount of money on some of their tables, who to any organization or institution that is mortgaging citizens' lives for money. He continued and says, over 60 years now, federal government keep assuring Nigerians for better days, but their own children never cease from enjoyment till now. Who is fooling who? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message is coming from Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson, joining us from 33, and he says, Nigeria gets Lifeline as Foundation Champions Child Protection Welfare is a welcome development. This move will make an effort towards making orphans and vulnerable children safe. He continued and says, Kaduna Governor JINI, Christian Association of Nigeria, keeps lamenting rising poverty, hunger, insecurity in the nation. Does it mean they don't have solution to them? Fubara leaving office for Wike is a welcome development for peace to reign. Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson from 33. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Honorable Obasi, aka Authority is More Than Power. Issue of robbers attacking commercial bank in Kogi is so bad, but it is as a result of insecurity that we have been talking about in Nigeria. So sorry for our country, Nigeria. Mr. President, wake up, because insecurity has been is now a tradition in Nigeria. And I'm also so sorry for children that are dying over father of three by beating. Very sad indeed. But it is as a result of hunger, war in Nigeria that causes all this calamity. And also, I thank God for the the pilot escaping in the crash in Kaduna. And also my advice to the effect is that the chief should look into the Air Force plane crash incident. Very, very important, because prevention is better than cure. May God help Nigeria, because what we are seeing today is more than what you expect to see. Because today, so many Nigerians cannot boost of 2 million naira, not even 2 mil, not even 3 square mil. And I quote according to Professor Mazen Nandekano, and he said that the Nigerian economy will be worse than Somalia economy. Please, Nigerian senators and federal House of Reps should wake up with all their master plans so that they will tackle this and to take us to a better Nigeria. Honorable Obasi, aka Authority is More Than Power, continued and says the issue of robbers attacking commercial bank in Kogi. Okay, I think it is still the same thing, but thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from John Ume from Okozu, and he says it is very, very unfortunate, annoying, and disturbing that Nigeria's parades like the likes of Dave Umahi, Goswell Akpabio as politicians who are just praise singers to Tinubu. Last week, Umahi was seen at Uburu, his hometown, telling his people that Tinubu have completely solved all the problems facing the Igbos. This week, it was the turn of Akpabio, a half-baked Senate president, saying that, okay, anyway, you wouldn't say half big, but he says that Tinubu have reduced the insecurity problems facing Nigeria since he came to power. Then let me ask these Tinubu's loyalists, what will the people from Benue, Borno, Plateau States, Southern Kaduna, etc. will take Akpabio as? Can Umaye tell us how much are the farmers paying to the terrorists and bandits for them to be allowed to go to their farms? These crops of politicians are the reason why I concur with P2B for saying that our politicians are the most wicked people in this country. They are mocking the people that elected them. Also, the Christian Association of Nigeria should keep quiet over the hardship ravaging the country, because they also contributed to it by allowing Muslim government, okay, in the country, Nigeria. Okay, John, we may thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Obiora from Okozu, and it says fresh attacks in Kaduna as more than 100 pupils kidnapped. What federal government is doing with the life of citizens of this country is very bad. Why our leaders want their citizens to be wiped out? The blood of the innocent citizens killed for nothing are crying to God for revenge, and God must surely revenge. If you like, continue. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Amechi Anene from Uro with Nkole Ogidi. And it says, why is it that every day in this country called Nigeria, kidnapping, the life of our children are in the hands of God Almighty? Now we have this message. It is coming from Sawait from Nise, and it says, may the soul of Nwigwe rest in peace. Amen. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Sawait from Nise. The outcome of it. So Buhari is free, but Buhari said he knows everything about it. We are watching as things progress. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Ozo Francis Nnamani, and it says, on the proposed new minimum wage, I urge government at all levels to fast track the implementation to save Nigerian workers from the current economic woes and hardship in this country. May God help us. Also, Francis Nnamani from Amagunze. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara from Owerri, and she says 280 pupils kidnapped in Kaduna. This is bizarre. How did this happen? And we have a government that its basic responsibility is to protect lives and property. These are just children. Just imagining the emotional trauma these children are going through. This government has failed woefully and should throw in the towel. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from also Francis Nnamani once again, and he said, thank God it's Friday and happy Women's Day to all the Nigerian women and every woman and all women all around the globe. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once it's 7 o'clock, so keep a date. And don't touch the dial of Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Once it's 8:20 this morning, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a fabulous morning.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonade FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Our government,
Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonade 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds
in your face
on Ebonade corner
24/7, 24/7.
Hello, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday is the most favorable day of the week. So hook up with DJ Easy every Friday by 9 p.m. on Ebonade 103.5 FM. This is a program where
Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Hit the subscribe button right here. And then remember to check out my book on Amazon.com, Hip Hop and Igbo Culture by yours faithfully, Martin Ifan. Thank you.